Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Floris Expanded. Now, when we left off, we were all the way down here at Cherise, and I realized I had no money whatsoever. Not even to upgrade my lowest tier of troops. So then I headed to Jalkala, and also realized that my court is not even there. So I had to head all the way up here to Suno, and eventually I was able to withdraw the funds required to level up our units, and then what happened was the Swadians decided to siege Praven, as you can see here. So now we are going to take the fight to them, or at least try to take them out rather swiftly, and then I'm only hoping that we'll be able to head back down to the Saranids territory and potentially take one of their strongholds. That would be the greatest scenario, but who knows? The Swadians may have something in store for us. And on that note, I must also mention the Rodok Republic has also declared war against the Kingdom of Swadia. So at least we are safe for now, because we obviously made peace with Doge Graveth in the last episode. So hopefully that will help us out in the long run, or at least for another 20 days. So yes, here we go. Let us now engage Meltwar. And there goes my phone. My apologies for that little interruption right there. I don't know who that was. Okay, so now let us start the fight with Lord Meltwar. Yes, this will be rather nice, I think. It will be... Oh, actually, he has quite a lot of relation with us. Aha. Okay. Well, as I was saying, it will be rather simple to take him down, and then hopefully we will be able to pursue his comrade in arms. And this just happens to be the worst map of all time. Oh my goodness. Look at this. What is going on here? Okay, well, I suppose we will head down into the valley and hope that none of us actually kill ourselves from falling damage. You never know. It has happened before. Well, it's happened to me before once. And now, let us hope that our units will catch up quite fast, or at least I hope so, and we will soon see where the enemy is located. It seems as though they are in the trees down there. They are probably trying to ambush us. Aha, here we are. We are now receiving a bit of fire from them. And I would really like to get our archers down here, that is for sure. Come on, archers. We need your assistance. I don't know what I would actually do without our archers, really, because I know our cavalry is just as effective, if not more so, but it just seems to me like playing with an archer army is exceptionally fun, mainly because you can outgun your enemies, and that is the way to do it. That is quite fun, I think, at least. Okay, so let's get our archers right here. That seems to be going quite well, as you can see by the text log at the moment. And now let us decide what we must do with our cavalry. Okay, I think we will just charge in. Straight up, let's do it. Oh yes. Now, what I would also like to do is take a look around Khergit lands for a heavy saber, as one of you in the comments actually suggested that would be a rather cool weapon for us to actually attain. And I concur, because goodness knows I could really use a substitute weapon just in case I lose this one, or in case I really want a change of pace, because I can imagine using a heavy saber is very different from using an e-stock, or at least where slashing and thrusting is concerned, because at the moment this sword does have an actual stabbing mechanic, which I am not a fan of, so it would be quite nice if we could attain one of those heavy sabers. So maybe if we go near to Khergit lands, we may be able to stop off at one of their marketplaces. Which would be good, but unfortunately this particular fellow has escaped. So we'll have to make sure that his other comrade doesn't. Yes, so if we can head into the garrison real fast and place a few of these prisoners in the hold, and then we will level up some of these guys. I think I'll start getting some more cavalry now, because we are getting quite a lot of archers, as we speak. So it might be quite good to have a nice balance, because at the moment we have a majority of archery. And it seems as though Suno has a large amount of cash in its landowners tab. So I think it may be a good idea to stop off there after this. So here we go. This is Lord Montour. And also, once I stopped off at Suno, I promoted Lord Floris to our marshal instead of me, so that they could actually do campaigns together. And I thought that would be rather nice for them to be able to do that independently of me, because usually I am a terrible marshal. So I just let them get to it, and we'll see what results they have for us in a couple of weeks, in-game weeks that is, of course. And now, let's make sure that we have a rather good setup here. Although we do outnumber these guys, I would not like to be careless, because, of course, that's how unneeded losses happen. So, you never know, we may get into quite a pickle if I make a mistake here, which is highly probable, but I'm trying to minimize the risk of that happening. So, I am trying to get our archers in a rather nice spot. Or actually, it would be good to get them over here. Yes, I think it would be good to get them here, because as you can see, the enemies are all perched on that cliffside, and it does not seem as though they are going to be moving. That is not very pleasing to me. How dare you? Okay, well, it seems as though they are going to force us to charge them, which is rather unfortunate. I was hoping that we could do this like gentlemen, but it seems as though that is not the case. So I guess we will all charge in. Let's do it. Aha! Now the enemy is charging. Okay, let's hope that our elephants can do a rather sizable amount of damage. And there we are. We already took out the enemy lord, and his relation has actually gone down because of that. So maybe that was not a good idea for me to take him down. It really was not worth the XP, I don't think. Relation is a little bit more effective, I think. Let's just take out as many as we can, though, while we are here on the side of the mountain. And again, I am posing to stab rather than slash. So maybe the heavy saber is more needed than I actually give it credit for. So we may be heading to Kurgit lands off screen after this, on the way down to the Saronids, and I'll see whether I can pick up a heavy saber quite quickly. That would be really nice, I must admit, because I realize on the original Barney, on King Barney, he had a military cleaver, I believe, and that was a slashing only weapon, and I think that actually stayed with us until the end of the series. A slashing only weapon is very favored by the Beartooth clan. Okay, so there we go, and he also escaped. Oh well, that was a shame, but we did drive him away from our territory, and hopefully away from Praven for at least a little while. So we don't really have to worry so much about Praven becoming under siege, although there are a lot of units here, and I'm not entirely sure why they would want to attempt to siege this, because I believe they only had 120 or so. Maybe more than that. But we have 242 here, and I'm just thinking, what is their logic behind that? Okay, well, I suppose we will continue to level up our units as best we can. I did stop off at the treasury, as I say, and I picked up 10,000 dinars, so hopefully that will see us through a few weeks more. And there is Floris running around there with 184, and Rolf is accompanying him with 84. So, ooh, Floris is now laying siege to Hurus Castle, but where is that? Oh my goodness. I just saw him there, and how is he laying siege to Hurus Castle? There it is. What? That is weird. Okay, well, maybe he's a time traveler. Who knows? Okay, So, yes, before we actually cut away here, I will stop off at the landlords and moneylenders and pick up 14,000 dinars. That is very nice indeed. And we will hope that Suno can gather a rather large amount of cash for us once again in a couple of in-game months. And then we'll be able to hopefully reinforce our cash flow a little bit at that time. So, I will cut away on my journeys around the Khergit Khanate, and if I indeed do find a heavy saber, then I will cut back. Okay, so here we are outside Carafe Castle, and I was lucky enough to find this, a tempered mountain saber. Now, I am not entirely sure whether this is what you were actually meaning in the comments, but it seems to me like it's a rather decent weapon, and it is a swinging only weapon, so that will help me out considering my skill level. So yes, I think we'll give it a go in this particular siege that is coming up. So here we go, let's do it. There are 2 vassals stationed here, so I'm hoping that they won't cause too much trouble, and we'll be able to potentially take them prisoner, or maybe they will escape, which is their custom nowadays by the looks of things. So, I believe now we will lead our soldiers in an assault against them, and we can only hope that they have a multitude of ladders, which is seeming rather positive at the moment. So let's see. Yes, this is actually very nice. It has quite a good reach, and it is, as I say, slashing only, which I am very pleased about indeed. So, let's get our archers stationed just outside here. And we can hope that they can pour into the enemy's keep with all of their arrows of death. Yes, that would be the way to go. Okay, now I just have to make sure that we do not get pushed off this ladder by any stray bolt or arrow, because the Saronids are pretty decent with their ranged units, I must admit. So I'm only hoping we can actually pull this off without too many casualties, because goodness knows I will need as many units as I possibly can for the siege after this, which I think you all know what it is. Taking Cherise from the Saronids and taking them out of the game potentially. We will soon see what comes of that though, and it may be a good idea for me to jump over the fence and actually do some damage to their archers. Or perhaps not. Yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, have to be careful of these guys up above, that is for sure. And then we will have the distinct advantage. Come on, I have one of the Khergit sabers. They have taken all of your lands. You must be incredibly mad. You are the color of the Hulk, of course. So, yes, look at that. They're all wearing green. And look at this guy. Wow, he is extremely flexible, as you can see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it seems all of my units are actually outside, and by all of my units, I mean all of my archers. So, I will be now charging them into the castle, and hoping they actually do a rather significant job. Now, this is something that we have not tried at all in this entire series. This particular crossbow that I am currently wielding. Let us now see how effective it is. Oh my, okay, so there we are. 71 damage with a 2.9 shot difficulty. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. I may have to get used to the bullet drop, technically. So, let's just make sure that we're actually doing a pretty reasonable job with our accuracy. And let's take out some of these throwing guys. Oh, not. Wow, 31 damage only to this fellow. He must have some rather heavy armor on. Or maybe I hit his shield partially, because then he took 72. Rather strange. Okay, so let's now take some of these archers down as well. Now, this may be a very slow reload, but as you can see, it is extremely powerful. So I'm very pleased with that. And it seems as though our archers are now cleaning up the rest of theirs. As you can see, they are firing down upon them. And we will be joining them down there in just a moment, if I can prevent myself from falling over on accident, of course. And yes, that was totally on purpose, of course. But I was hoping that we could land on someone and prevent ourselves from taking damage. But no such luck here. And now we have all of the bodies sliding down the stairs And, oh my, really? That was very quick indeed. Okay, well, I don't think I really should be complaining, considering Cherise is the next siege we will be targeting, and no doubt will be a lot harder. So, because I am currently getting quite a few defected lords from various other factions, I will be letting this fellow go as well, just in case he decides to defect later down the line. That would be very nice indeed. I believe we actually gained a vassal from the Rodok Republic just before I cut back, that is. So, yes, I'm hoping that he will be able to stay with us for quite some time and prove his worth, as it were. So, yes, we'll have to see about that once I arrive back in Suno to accept his pledge, of course. So, let's start making a few more archers now. Archers seem to actually be doing a really, really good job, so maybe I should go for an archer-focused army? I don't know. And there we are. We were awarded a heavy iron mace, which is not too good, actually. I'm rather surprised about that, but I suppose... Yeah, I suppose if you want a blunt damage weapon, then why not? You might as well take that, but yes, we will now upgrade the rest of our companions, and they continue to gain upgrades, which is very nice indeed. So there we are, and what is going on here? Some weird stuff is going on in his portrait right here. Oh, I know why. It's because he's on an elephant, and yes, obviously. Okay, we will just ignore that for now. So yes, let us now give this to... I think we will give this to Gazwan. Yes, and then the next one will go to Rolf, and by the next one I mean the next castle, of course, because I would like to have Cherise for myself. But yes, there we are. We will split the dinars with all of our vassals, and there we are. 33 have been stationed there, and the next target will be Cherise. So, I will end this episode off here. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.